Hello there and welcome
to the new channel.
Here to help you see
the new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansala.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Argamit.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebastillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Mapet Erhina.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice one, dear.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldon.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
Mine is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
TNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Healthline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID Stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and More.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. But sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
You are watching the new channel, where we help you to see the new you. My name is Lee O'Brien, and this is Foreign Affairs. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Foreign Affairs. I'm Lee O'Brien, your host, and good to be back. We've taken a little hiatus here on Foreign Affairs, but it's good to be back here, even if it's February, starting the new year. First of all, I hope everyone is having a great 2021. I hope your year has started strong, started well, happiness. We came into the year with a lot of, let's just call it baggage from last year. We'll put it nice. Last year was very interesting. It was way different than other years. And all of us had to adapt, had to see what the problems were and deal with them. And I really hope every single one of you that's watching has been able to deal as well as you can with your problems. I don't think we're going to overcome every single one of them, but we at least can take a shot and take care of the ones we can. And so I'm wishing all of you a happy 2021. And as well, a happy Chinese New Year to those of you celebrating. It's coming up here on February 12th. So happy New Year to all of you too. And to start off Foreign Affairs this year, I'm really excited because we have an amazing lady coming on the show. Apart from being an amazing wife and mother, she's also one of the co-founders of the Craftsmith Guild. It's a boutique interior design company, but I know her through other avenues, more silver linings. It seems like every single one of our shows is some silver lining from the pandemic. Someone I was able to meet during the pandemic, something that happened because of the shutdowns and whatnot. And I had the chance to meet this amazing woman through a couple friends that work in publicity and marketing. And she and I have collaborated together on our businesses, on Pokley Food. But I've seen also the other work she has done is just phenomenal work. She is an amazing interior designer, publicist, photography, and she has an amazing eye. That's what I can say is really skilled talent with the camera. So I'm going to stop talking because I want her to talk today, which is more important. So I'd like to welcome Miss Kitty Bunag to the show. Kitty, come on in.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that introduction, Lee. Thanks for having me. I'm not sure I deserve that. Quite overwhelmed and pressured at the same time to live up to what you just said. But thank you so much. I'm very grateful to be here.
Good. Well, you survived last year, so I figure you might be able to live up to it now. So you're not less pressured.
Survive is an accurate term.
That is it. We did it. We're here, and let's get right into it. I first noticed you through Instagram work. You had done publicity for your own brands and then other brands as well. Just phenomenal photography. I even told our mutual friend Mel that I just said the whole vibe here, the look is just amazing. So tell us, how did this all begin for you? When did you figure out about interior design, photography, that whole industry? When did it start for you, and how did it begin?
Okay, deciding to be an entrepreneur or to get into all of these things that I'm doing now did not come easy. Okay, it was, going for this full time was something that, like many individuals, was always scared to go for. It was something that I liked, but it all came, I don't even know where to start. I studied interior design in college. That was around 98. Yeah, I took up interior design. But the interesting part is, Lee, I wouldn't call myself an interior designer, actually. I am an interior stylist. I am not licensed because guess what? I quit school. I quit design school. 3 years into it, I had a year left of interior design, and I quit. I was going through something at that time. My mom passed away. She was 43. We were very, very close. She had me at a very young age. So yeah, I don't know. I wanted a change in scenery. I wanted to change my environment. That's how I was. So I quit school, and then I got into corporate. I worked in an office for a couple of offices. I actually had a lot of fun. I gained many friends who have turned into family to my family. I gained a lot of network. I learned a great deal also in the corporate world. But I had to have art still in my life. You know what I mean? I had so many sidelines at the same time. Um, I did jewelry design. I actually have a jewelry line too. I have an accessory line. Um, I also studied photography. But here's the thing: having art in my life, I don't know. I'd like to say that I thrive. I thrive well when I'm going through something. When I'm going through a certain kind of personal crisis, I turn to art for healing. It was like an automatic thing. Um, yeah, when my mom passed away, that may have um, that may have took me off that path, but it felt like that had to happen because after that, years after, it was my dad naman. It was my dad who passed away. He was 49 at that time. He had his first and last massive heart attack. That's what actually made me take up photography. You know, it's it's hard, but when you go through something that painful, it's just I don't know, I literally look for something beautiful to look at. You know what I mean? I had to surround myself with things that were just visually pleasing to look at. And that gave me healing, looking at color, looking at plants, looking at these everyday objects that we seem to take for granted. That's just how I was wired. Um, it's funny because the jewelry thing that started because of a breakup. You know what I mean? That's I never did real honest to goodness business planning. No, that's not how I was. I if I wanted something, I'd go for it. If yeah. It was like an impulse. It was like a reflex. It was a response to a reflex out of pain, as Oprah said. I was just listening to one of her podcasts. Sorry, she's just so inspiring me right now. Um, from wounds to wisdom. Like I get so much out of life um, facing those challenges along the way head on. And for some reason, it turns into a business in like an accidental form of business. Yeah. And then, of course, at that time, at the same time, I was starting a small family. Um, Even if I wanted to go full time into art, practicality had to rule over passion. Having a stable income was the best choice. So I was an employee for many years. I had no background in business. Costing my projects and my work were a challenge as a startup. I struggled financially for many years. And I was doing everything myself because I couldn't afford overhead. Many times I felt burned out. Many times I thought of going back. I mean, my, uh, sorry, that was when I became a full-time entrepreneur. I would even think about going back to becoming an employee. It was hard, but what maybe my breaking point was, again, I was, as I was saying, I was doing everything on my own. I was a one woman team. I had a miscarriage in the middle of it all. Sorry, there's silver lining here somewhere. Yeah, and then that's when I decided to go full time. I had to make a decision. What is it that I really want to do? Yeah. What is that one thing that I would be willing to struggle for the rest of my life? I guess that was a question that led me to just, keep going. After that, I left the corporate world and then pursued art full time. There.
Got it. And so I think it's very interesting and to focus on is the point you brought up, that every time there was a setback or some kind of obstacle or some kind of problem, you seem to respond to that with something else. When those problems hit, what do you think you do? What is it about you that you do that allows you to grasp onto a concept, a product, an activity? What do you focus on when those problems hit?
It would start more like as a hobby. It's like a diversion. Why jewelry? Why photography? Anything that was related to visual arts, I was just automatically drawn to. I think I got it from my parents, from my family. They're I mean, my uncle, my mom, my dad. They're all really good. They're very artistic. So, yeah.
So you had the environment to begin with, or kind of the nurturing to begin with of those kind of interests, and those were kind of avenues that you just kind of reached for because in the moment.
Perhaps, but I would like to say that you don't have to be in that kind of environment to pursue it. I wouldn't say, yeah, because it at the back of my mind, I quit so many years ago. Like I still want it, but I couldn't go for it fully because the insecurities were there, the fear was there. But I do it anyway. I just kept going, and then like whatever the tide throws at me, I just keep going. Like for example, I went into design. I would style parties. I would initially have done it for my daughter when she was a baby, and even the photography. I started out that way, and then someone would ask, "Hey, do you do this as a profession?" And then it snowballed from there.
Right.
So,
It's it. You almost have like it's without trying, you have the classic gig lifestyle where you're, like everyone talks about picking up sideline gigs and doing this, and it's kind of like you had a bunch of gigs that just snowballed over time.
Yeah, it was a hobby, but ultimately there was a need. I had a small family. I had to help put food on the table. So yeah, it always starts with a need. I'd like to say everything that we have, everything that we're working for, right?
Right. And so how did you arrive to the point of where did this concept of the Craftsmith Guild come from? Because I've seen that it's a collection of stylists, designers, creatives who've come together, and it looks like nothing is off the table. Like there's all kinds of things being designed and whatnot. So how did that come about? And like how has that been going?
So the Craftsmith Guild, we're like a design council. We're like a boutique design firm. There's just two of us actually, and we have one creative partner. Yeah, it does look like we're a lot because we collaborate with other artists. To come up with something, to come up with a project so beautiful, it takes a village sometimes. My business partner is my cousin, Mia Delara. She is, I'd say, exactly like me. But same. She's a brilliant graphic designer. So we put up Craftsmith Guild, just putting together all the things that we love, whether people like them or not. It started out as a retail business actually. We started selling things from our travels, things that we make, all simple things that glorify everyday living. And then we did projects also together from businesses. We would brand businesses from ground up. So she would do the branding, I would do the interiors or the digital marketing. So that's how we're set up, and among many other things.
And for you now in your life, do you find Craftsmith Guild is one of your main focuses, or Is the photography coming up big? I've seen kind of all of what you do, but I wouldn't know how to read what's the higher ranking stuff,
right?
if you will.
It's hard to define.
Yeah.
I'd say they're equal because as a co-founder of Craftsmith, I am the go-to interior stylist and photographer. So I did photography because also partly because I wanted to be able to show or communicate that the work that I do, the way I want people to feel it and see it. So yeah, it's like tied together. And also my Instagram feed. Yes, it's partly work, but it's mostly my form of self-expression. Yeah.
Right. So that leads me into what I also want to ask you. How did you like come about? Where did it come from? How did it develop your style of photography? Because it is to me, it's extremely unique. You know, it's almost like if old Renaissance kind of style portraits could like come to life, you know, and like become a picture. It's very much like that because it's got such presence, but it also focuses, you know, because it's a product and a business push. There's a product sitting in the middle of it, yet, you know, and it's very interesting how you come up with your style of photography. What was the roots of that, and what has been the trajectory of that?
Having studied design, having studied interior design, having studied photography, I studied in different photography schools. I did weddings, I did fashion, I did food and stills. So merging all those schools of thought together perhaps molded the way I see things now. If I look at my work like years ago, I would cringe. Like I'd be so ashamed to even show you. Your taste, your eye would develop over time as long as you keep practicing. I wasn't born this way. I guess you have to have first. You have to want it. You have to have interest in these things. Also, the way I do photography, the way I show my work visually, it has to somehow tell a story. I'm not technical, actually. I'm not as technical as most photographers are. But I'm very heavy on composition. I'm very heavy on the way I style or unstyle. I'd like to call it unstyle. A photograph has to be well lived in. I think about the person behind that photograph and what he or she is saying. Something to that effect. I want the person viewing these photos to feel something or to feel what I feel. Like if I show you my travels, I try to show you how I'm feeling at that very moment, because that's how I would capture it. Am I making sense? Shucks.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's storytelling basically.
Right. And currently you have, I mean, would you say during the pandemic, did you notice photography jump up because more people were going online and they wanted more visual presence?
Yeah, I suppose. I think so. Yeah, I think so. People were looking for nice things to look at. People were looking for not just nice things, maybe authentic. In any art form, I think authenticity is key. Something that is relatable, something that somehow touches the hearts of viewers. Yeah, storytelling became a thing. It was like a window of how people could connect with each other, pandemic or no pandemic.
Right. And then on your own personal level, what do you think are your, what, you know, when it comes to art, when it comes to photography, when it comes to music, what do you think your influences are? Where do you think what do you draw on?
It depends.
Or what are the ones? What are the ones you like? Like, what are the ones you've? What's the music you've always listened to? What's the art form you always dug? What do you?
Well, I am influenced by different genres. Like my dad. My dad's a rock star. He had long hair. He played the guitar, the piano. I don't know what genre that is. I like 80s and 90s music a lot. The feeling that I get when I remember those times, that inspires me a lot. So that's why recently I'm very drawn to the mid-century look. Like the feeling when my folks were alive, when we were all together, that part of my life, when everything was just chill, not like today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When there was no social media, the analog days. Yeah. I'm very drawn to that now, but it changes over time. There was one point I was drawn to all pastel stuff. Sorry, and there's K-drama and K-pop. I just have to do that because I am the last person who would be.
You make it known. Trust me.
Oh my gosh, no! I'm the last person who'd be into K-pop. Really, BTS is beyond K-pop.
Let's see.
They're very inspiring. If you read about them, Lee, really.
I don't. No, you know, that's another thing. That's the beauty of that's one of the blessings of having my daughter is. I used to hate the song Baby Shark. Now I love it because it brings a smile to her face. K-pop, I would never have been into it, but now she's a Blackpink. She's a Blinkster or whatever the nickname is. Trust me, there is no judgment going on here. You like BTS, like BTS. All good. Trust me.
She will get there. Your daughter will get there. Trust me, because they're legends. They really are, and they're inspired. Let me blabber about BTS because they're so inspiring because they're not a group that just went viral overnight. You know what I mean? And became successful just like that. They went through really hard times. They almost disbanded. They almost quit, but pressed on. So that's why they work really hard to get to where they are now. That's why they're inspiring.
Right on. Well, I would be happy to let you go BTS more. I've just got another question.
Sure.
And I don't want to. I don't want to keep this whole thing, professionally focused. Like behind every talented woman, there is a family. There's a husband and kids. How does your family respond to your career and your hobbies and whatnot? Are they supportive? Are they creative bugs as well? Are they into it as well? Or what's that like?
No, the husband loves math. I don't, but they're very supportive. My entire family is very supportive, and I'm very lucky for that. Because especially way back, pursuing art as a career was not as big as how it is now. It was a sideline, right? It wasn't collaborations. What do you mean? So I'm very lucky that I had all of their support since the start, and I have two girls. I have two beautiful girls who want to be like mommy when they grow up. So I'm very happy. They're better than me, especially my youngest. She can draw BTS.
Wow.
Yeah, I can never draw people. So
That's great.
I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky.
You are very fortunate, and I'm very happy for you. And I also say that because as someone else who pursued the arts, my family was always and has always been very supportive. But I do know it's not the most favored career choice from outside parties, and I know especially in Asian countries it can get a little testy. There's an expectation to get over to the sciences and math and
you
whatnot.
have to take up accounting or medicine or something or or law.
And not just Asian families, like in the States, finance or law, you're the golden child. So it's definitely that. Well, Kitty, I've got a lot more questions for you, but we're going to take our first commercial break. We're going to come back and keep it with Kitty Bunag here on the new channel, Foreign Affairs. Welcome back to Foreign Affairs. I'm your host, Lee O'Brien. Thank you for tuning in today and watching our show with Kitty. It's going great. We're having a great conversation. And as I mentioned before, this isn't the only show here on the new channel. There are numerous shows. And the new channel, as I've said before, was one of these silver linings that came out of the pandemic and lockdown, started last year with just a couple shows, and now is up over 25 different shows. These shows are amazing. They've got something, just about anything for anybody. So some of the shows that you can also tune into are Life Turnaround Stories at U-Turn, shows Mondays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. The stage is yours for TNC The Talk. That's Mondays at noon. You can have an awesome day on the show Awesome Day, Mondays at 2:30 p.m. The Home Buyer guides you to a property, Mondays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. You laugh and learn from the Puppet Stories, Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Notable personalities and their stories on The Big Picture, Mondays to Fridays at 7 p.m. Listen to This Generation, the Millennial Voice, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Human Resources and Management on HR Hotline, shows every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays at 12 noon. Well Home brings a well life, every Tuesday and Saturday at 2:30 p.m. The Journey continues on Moving On Business, Tuesdays and Fridays at 4 p.m. Learn from the Market Leader, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. Never Too Late for a Mental Shift is the show, which shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. USA time, and Wednesdays and Fridays, 10:30 a.m. Philippines. Money and More show, Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Philippines, at 5:30 a.m. USA time. Then we've got Cybersecurity is Key on the show Cyber Next, Wednesdays at 12 noon. Health is Wealth on the show The Health Line, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Coping and Coupling on the show Couple Goals, Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Chill and Booze on the After Shift, Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Your Rights on the show Yola, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Emerging, and Practical Technologies on Tech Use, the show, showing Fridays at 2:30 p.m. Magbenta Bumili at Tumulong on the TNC Marketplace, Fridays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Dream, Achieve, Nurture, and Inspire on the Danny Art Show, Fridays at 5:30 p.m. celebrate the show Women at Work, 9 a.m. on Saturdays. And it's time to hear some positive news, so tune into COVID Stories, Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. The Family Business is Everyone's Business, Saturdays at 4 p.m. Beauty Beyond What Your Eyes Can See, Usapang Beauty, Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. Success Stories on the show The Fourth Project, every Saturday, 6 p.m. Dubai, 10 p.m. Philippines. Strategies and Win in Life through the show Win Within, Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. Catch also our originals One Day, TNC Arena, TNC PressCon, and TNC Town Hall, Saturdays 7 p.m., co-hosted by TNC founders Lloyd and Apple. Town Hall is where we talk to you, our valued audience. And of course, you're tuning in right now on the show that you can learn together across all borders. The show is called Foreign Affairs every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. More upcoming shows follow to hashtag TNC Now on Facebook and YouTube. Allow your passion to inspire you, and together let us hashtag See the New You. So I'd love to bring Miss Kitty Bunag back on the screen, back with us. You're still there, doing great.
Yeah, that's a lot. You have such a great lineup.
Yeah, it is a great lineup, and it's so diverse.
Right? Yeah, and the millennial voice. Interesting.
Actually, the COVID Stories came up within, when was it? I think it was back October or so, and that's been a big hit. The beauty show, Stop Beauty, is a big hit. But everything, anyone wants legal advice, wants business advice, beauty advice. I mean, there's just about anything for everyone. And there are numerous hosts that are out in other countries. So we have one in Dubai, a couple in the States. So it's not limited to people here in the Philippines. It's all over the world right now.
Right. And also very relevant.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yes. So congrats to Apple and Lloyd, and thank you, Apple and Lloyd, because it's their vision that has put us all here. We're here today. So it's become a common theme in most of my episodes. Let's talk about the pandemic pivot. We all got hit by a lockdown last March 15th, here in the Philippines at least, and then life just changed overnight. Everyone, it was like the e-brake got hit on the freeway and the car just came to a screeching halt, and we all had to adjust. So talk to me, because I know you haven't just adjusted, you've also thrived. So I'm really excited to talk about what you've learned during this pandemic. So what happened with Craftsmith Guild? What were the big adjustments? What did you have to do there?
Here's the thing, like a couple of weeks just before the lockdown, Mia and I acquired a warehouse along with other partners. So we just signed a contract of lease for a big warehouse, because we were getting into big setups, events, and then lockdown happened. Lo and behold. So, wow. I don't know how to. At that time, I couldn't. Like, what? Right?
Right.
It's like, pulling the brakes on that freeway and getting hit by the airbag in the face. So, and then lockdown happened. We also for a few months with just K-drama, right? But here's the thing. Since my folks passed, it was my uncle who stood as my dad, as my parent, since he had no family. It was we were brought together more closer than ever. And then right before the pandemic, right before the lockdown, I mean, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, esophageal cancer. So even before the lockdown, that was our family was hit by that. It came sudden as well, crazy. So we had to make certain adjustments at home, health-wise. That's when I started juicing. This is something that you may already know. I started juicing. I started making adjustments to what we were eating in at home, and then you know, weird as it may sound, but the pandemic actually helped the healing. Um, Everything was just cleaner. Everything there was no access to there was hardly any access to fast food. We were all eating homemade food, right? So that part was the good that was brought about by that lockdown initially.
Yeah.
So it was. Don't you agree? Not just that personal thing that I went through. Remember, Taal erupted first, right?
Right.
And then we all bought as much face masks as we could. It was like we were all prepared. We were being prepared for something. And yeah, and then lockdown came. So yeah.
No, it's,
Yeah. Sorry. It's when I think about it, it was like a tide was bringing us to where we are now, but not fully unprepared. We were ordering from Grab way before then. Um, that wasn't even happening way back. What if there were no Grabs or Lala Mover, right? So yeah, it's been crazy, but at the same time, I still believe a lot of good came out or is still coming out of this pandemic.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
agreed. Oh, I think on the first adjustments. Well, yeah. First of all, Taal was a unique case here in the Philippines where everyone at least here in the Metro Manila, Luzon, Rizal, Batangas area, got woken up really quick and was put on alert. And then so when the pandemic came in, it was kind of like, yes, we were already kind of not prepared, but like in position, if you will, in a position where we could start going after it. And I found that during the pandemic, a lot of it wasn't just confronting the problem that's in your face, which is shut down, staying clean, eating clean, staying healthy. There's also like a lot of the unknown, which people don't know about. Like you don't know how long is it going to last. You don't know, are there tests to see if I have it or not? How long, if you get it, how long does it last? Like, who do you know? Like, who's, apart from, if someone's wearing a mask or not, but do you know if someone's asymptomatic, if they're a carrier,
right.
There's so many unknowns at play. And I think that if you couple that on top of what everyone was dealing with, that was, to me, was a little more, that was a lot more stressful to deal with and to confront than the actual, okay, I've got a lockdown, like,
right.
Adjust on those.
Right. So going back to your question, which I didn't answer, I just realized now. Craftsmith. My business.
You started. You went on tangent.
Our business. Well,
tangents.
Okay,
tangents are welcome here, so don't worry about it.
Right. To be honest, I felt like we needed it. We needed to slow down. We had to refocus our efforts on, on work that really matters. What have we been hustling for? For what? For who? Right? It caused us to rethink about what it is that we're really working hard for, and what contribution is this work giving back to our family, to ourselves, and to the society. That part I really liked. It was a struggle, so our projects became smaller. Since people were all at home, we actually still do virtual space design planning. small makeovers for workspaces for those who are working from home. Also, so many people got into the food business. So we did a lot of branding work, packaging design. That's on Mia, and that's wow, photography work. There's a lot of opportunities for photographers actually at this time. So that part, that's just, yeah, I'm thankful for that. I guess one consequence of our helplessness in the face of all of this is our yearning for other people for other people's help, for other people to inspire us. It made us realize how much we need each other. The social distancing, that's what it did. That we can't go through this alone. So even our costs, even our everything, we had to adjust, of course, because of the changing times.
Yeah, no, that's it. You bring up a great point. It's an ironic situation that it took social distancing to realize how much, our interactions and our social connections and being connected and depending on and being depended on by other people.
Right.
It's just so valuable. So valuable. And then quickly, please talk about the latest thing with Sony. What's this?
Yeah.
Can you talk about that on air?
Yeah, I could actually, because Sony,
hype it up.
That part was such a huge thing. That meant the world to me actually. To be able to be tapped for work on something that I really, really love. I love photography. That's one thing. That is me. That is, again, like I said earlier, it's my form of self-expression. To have this collaboration with Sony is such a blessing in my life right now. So they contacted me in the middle of the pandemic to somehow give people a little perspective. How art in general and photography could, be a tool at this time in life to pivot or to see things in a better light. So that's my role right now with Sony.
That's great.
That wouldn't have, I don't know, there's so many things right now, including that, that might not even happen if we weren't going through this, right?
That's it. That is exactly it. It's crazy.
Like,
Silver linings are everywhere.
Exactly. I only brought thrive, especially those, I believe in this. If you have a good heart, the purest of hearts, that's going to get you places. And those that don't will just get automatically weeded out. Because this thing can do either one of two things to you. It can either bring out the best in you or the worst, or both, depending on the situation. And it's really just how you respond. I'm not perfect in the way I deal. I don't always look at silver linings. I get very negative at times. It's just that I probably don't act on it. I cry for a bit. I talk to someone. That's the most important thing. And then I just did. So I guess, yeah, even if you don't feel like doing something that you have to, you just do it. You'll get out of it alive. Trust me.
Right on. Well, I like it. We're going to end our pandemic phase of the talk right there and hit a commercial break. But I still have questions for you, Kitty. We got to finish strong, so we're going to hit to a commercial break. And thank you guys for watching Foreign Affairs. Hi, everybody. You're watching Foreign Affairs. I'm your host, Lee O'Brien. Before we continue with the amazing Kitty, we have a public service announcement we need to get out for you guys. Please, please help us. In support of our host, one of our hosts, Nice Alvier, his friend Feby Palisok went missing last February 4th, 2021. He was last seen in Pasay going to Bicutan. He was riding his motorbike. If you have seen him or know his whereabouts, please reach out to us via TNC Facebook page or directly through his wife at 0917-572-8072. His name is Feby Palisok, and he was riding his motorbike from Pasay to Bicutan. That number again is 0917-572-8072. We're really hoping and praying for the quick return of Feby to his family, and we're praying for him, niece, and his wife and his entire family. Hope he, please help us with this if you have seen Feby around. Thank you very much. So back with Miss Kitty. Come on back to the studio. There it is. You are here. I want to finish. We've talked about your trajectory. We've talked about family. We've talked about the pandemic. Let's start getting into some. Let's end it strong with some helpful educational points. First of all, and I've got two questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, with someone who has so many varied interests, you're juggling so many different focuses, in different areas, between the styling, between the photography. We didn't get a chance to mention Ruby Kiss,
that's
the
right.
amazing smoothies that you guys are making. I will give you time to hype that up for sure, because those are delicious, fantastic. But so what do you know, like, and having worked through the pandemic and even before that, what do you do? What are your methods for organization? How do you keep everything in line? Like what, if it feels like you're organized, I don't know.
No, I don't. I try. I constantly try. Something I've struggled with because I'm such a now person. I don't know. But yes, I do get organized. There's all these digital help these days. I get help from my eldest daughter. Though, to be honest, time management is key. Also, that is something that I am still learning. And I guess that's what the pandemic has taught me, to just really zero in on your priorities, those that matter most, and to always put family first.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. And any little techniques for time management that you found useful? You don't have to be an expert. Something useful.
I know. Let me think.
If it helps, I have
really?
40 notebooks across my office, and I have a stagnated calendar. But
me too.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Also, notes. I keep a lot of digital notes on my laptop, on my phone. Yeah, in my calendar, I have multiple notebooks too. Yeah, that helps a lot. And it helps me more to write stuff down than to type them. Because the recall, again, we come from the analog days. So I still want everything manually done. And to be honest, it's hard for me to work when things aren't organized. Yeah. I have to fix everything first before I'm conditional that way. I have to have my plants here. I have to have certain things in a certain way before I get started working. But there are days when I just, no, I'm not doing anything. I take lots of, not a lot, but I take time off for myself once in a while. That helps me get rewired. Before all of this, I would even take solo trips. That way I come back, not because I'm tired of everybody here, but like it keeps me grounded. It keeps me sane. I come back refreshed, a better person. That's what I'd like to say. Hopefully.
As someone, I've lived in numerous countries, traveled by myself, constantly lived by myself a lot. I obviously now I'm a family man, but I comprehend, I understand, and I empathically know exactly what you're talking about. Going off on a solo trip, it has nothing to do with the people around you. It has nothing to do with problems. It's a natural therapy for us humans. You know, we have a social need and we have an internal
I
individual
love what you said.
You know?
Yeah, and like that's why. Oh my gosh! Now that there's no travel, can you imagine how I feel? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So now it's good that we can go at road trips. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so there's that, and that's been the kind of the saving grace, is able to escape one day for a road trip, even if it's 2 hours one direction. Go for it.
Yep.
Do it. I don't care if I arrive anywhere.
I just did that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh well, there was a destination, but yeah, that helped. It was so freeing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Do it.
All right, let's tail back to the work focused and like focusing on projects. Through your experience, I think you're a great person to explain or give advice on this. Let's say I've got a new business, a new brand, a new product, etc. When I start publicizing, promoting the product, what do I need to focus on first? What are my first steps before I get to, do I just jump onto social media, or what are some things I should think about and consider if I want to properly promote and publicize that brand?
I love that you asked this question, because most people think that the first thing that they need is a logo, because your brand is more than that. Your brand is who you are. It's what you stand for. It's like a person. It's a characteristic. If you notice, most brands that are big now don't even have logos. Like, let me see. Sorry, my favorites are actually retail, like Zara or Anthropologie. It's just a word, right? But really, it starts with a purpose. What is your message? What is your brand trying to say? It's not even market research yet. What's your purpose? What is it that you want to contribute? Why did you do this? Why? What's your why, basically? It doesn't have to be very deep. It doesn't have to be life-altering right away. But if that why is clear, it would be so much easier to map out how to get you to your why, or how to bring about your purpose. Everything will just fall into place with social media, no social media. Whether you hire me as a photographer or not, if your message is clear, people will see it, people will feel it, people will be drawn to it inevitably.
I like it. It's great. I appreciate you too, giving an explanation for the why. I think that term gets thrown around a lot, and I don't hear people explaining, like, I eat because I'm hungry, but this product, sometimes like, we have some products where I can't really explain it to people what it's like, if it's a food product, it's literally that moment when they take a bite and they like have that visceral bump reaction where they're like, oh, wait a sec, like, this is nice. Like, you can't explain that, right? So like, I'm glad you explained what the why means for someone. That's huge.
Yeah, thank you. Also, if you get lost along the way, which happens all the time to me, just go back to your why. Why again am I doing this? And then you'll figure out what to do.
Got it. Great. Well, Kitty, we're at the end of the show, and I so appreciate your time. I appreciate what you shared, and I appreciate your trust. For opening up about your life.
Gosh, thank you.
I know you've probably dealt with dealt with it already to a point, but it's never easy, and I appreciate you trusting me and trusting us in this hour to talk about those kind of things, because I know it can't be easy. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, you're on the clock.
Am I?
2 minutes, self-promotion time. Go.
Oh,
tell the world about you. Promote.
What
Go
I want to
let them know.
Not promote, but like send a message. Can I do that before I promote anything? Really, at this time, I think it's more relevant for me to say, because there are so many startups, and it's amazing to see that there are so many startups right now inspired to do something more relevant, more substantial with their lives. It's not going to be easy, and I don't mean to scare you. Like, I love what I do no matter what, but know that what you love has to be that the one thing that you would be willing to go to battle for. Like, I do this because there's nothing that I wouldn't do for my family. That's my why. That's really locked in, very clear. So know that passion is not enough. Passion cannot get you to those breaking points. Breaking points meaning those moments that will try to really, really break you. And when that comes, just, open yourselves up to it, because those breaking points will give you the grit, the patience, and the perseverance to get past whatever you need to get past through. So, and the openness to make mistakes and fail forward, as I say, will give you that arsenal of fundamental skills along the way. So that's how I got my Craftsmith Guild. You may follow us on Instagram. There's the promotion. We are Craftsmith Guild. My juicing smoothie business is called Ruby Kiss. And you can find me on social media. It's just type my name, Kitty Bunag. Thank you. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Kitty. Appreciate you so much being here today, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. I hope
thank you very much
for anybody today, but thank you again for having me. It's thank you.
No, it's our pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's my honor. And something that definitely got reaffirmed is, Kitty, you're someone who not only knows how to survive, you know how to thrive. And that's really admirable. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, and be safe, be well. If you guys have any questions, you and our viewers, feel free to send me a personal message. I'll try to answer your questions.
Okay, right on. Thank you, Kitty. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. Take care. Right on. Well, there you have it, the amazing Kitty Bunag. I was so glad she could come on our show and talk to us for an hour. Just amazing story, amazing, what she's gone through in her life, and the way she's persevered. Had a lot of setbacks, a lot of reasons to quit, a lot of reasons not to carry on, and then almost comes into the pandemic, having been through problems, and shows up in the pandemic and is still thriving a lot, and yet so straightforward and honest. So really happy to have Kitty on here. And thank all of you guys for watching Foreign Affairs. It's good to be back. We'll definitely get back here for next week. And also going to do a little shameless self-promotion. Please, everybody, make sure you check out Pokley Food Products, at Pokley Food Products. You can check out our Instagram, or you can check out Facebook and DM us today. We're delivering all over the Philippines now. And we will be getting abroad. We're looking by the end of this year. That is the hope. So we just got to take some steps and make it happen. But as usual, thank you guys for tuning in to Foreign Affairs. Please keep an eye out also for, just want to do a reminder, because public service announcement, Mr. Feby Palusok went missing on February 4th. Please reach out. Again, his wife's number is 0917-572-8072. Or also reach out to the TNC Facebook page. Any of us will be happy to help. This is in support and a friend or family of our co-host, knee salviers. So we're all pulling for you, all praying for you. And if you have seen him, please reach out to us or reach out to his wife. That does it, guys, for another episode of Foreign Affairs. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Tune back in next Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. and we'll be here back on the new channel. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much.